Sometimes I get asked what a day in my life looks like. Well, it often starts long before dawn, as I do my intensive writing tasks. Then, I may leave my children doing their morning exercise. An advantage of being married to another less than full-time clinical academic is that we get to share the workload. And then I walk to work. And as I was making the film, I was struck again by how incredibly beautiful some of my surroundings are. This gives me time to think through the day ahead, but it is quite a steep climb, and there are some other interesting complications of walking around Kampala. But still, I am thankful for the fresh air and the exercise and the time to plan the day ahead. Finally, I reach Malago main gate. The Makerere University College of Health Sciences is on this compound, and usually I head straight for the Infectious Diseases Institute, where I do most of my work. This organisation was founded in 2002. But today I have another errand to do before the main duties start, and I cross over the compound, which is full of very beautiful old buildings, and head for the Department of Pharmacology, where I hope to meet with some of my collaborators. One of the advantages of this compound is, as you can see, there are so many departments and so many colleagues packed within quite a dense space, and this means it's a hotbed of rich scientific collaboration, and it's always incredibly energising. You can't walk far without bumping into colleagues and having further conversations. The Department of Pharmacology is one of our main collaborators, particularly for the pharmacometrics group. And then finally I return to IDI, which has the vision to see a healthy Africa free from the burden of infectious diseases through research and capacity building. Often I forget to take note of just how beautiful our surroundings are. The building overlooks the main Malago Hospital complex and is always green and lush because of our tropical climate. Before I go into meetings, one of my colleagues meets in my office to discuss a presentation she has to give, how we can use storytelling and pictures to captivate an audience. And then I move into a site initiation visit for a clinical trial. This is the place where the protocol becomes live, and we discuss all the intricacies of taking what we have written and implementing it. Isabella is one of our study coordinators, and she takes us through, but there is much question and answer, and the session takes all of the morning. Then, with one of the mathematical modelers and another clinician, we quickly head out to the main Malago Hospital complex in order to explore some other departments. But because I was filming, I was able to take note of just how beautiful these surroundings are. Whilst we were up there, PhD student Rita is leading a community engagement event about medication use in breastfeeding. All these participants have consented for photography and filming. Then, no visit to IDI is complete without popping to the lab to meet my collaborators there, and today I had a surprise with some visiting colleagues from the University of Liverpool, and we discussed several projects as I went by. Before returning to the laboratory, this is where we do many of our drug assays. Then, back out, and an unexpected surprise, some visiting collaborators from London arrived with a lot of kit for the lab, so we helped them transport that down. And I was delighted to discover a colleague that I worked with 24 years ago back in Liverpool. We always have rich discussion every time we meet, but I had to hurry back for a milk and virtual modelling meeting, which is a partnership with the University of Cape Town, and today one of the PhD students was giving a mock presentation ahead of a conference presentation next month. And finally, I ran into another grant writing workshop taking place in the library and worked with colleagues around the world for another 40 minutes. And finally, as you can see, the clinic is now quite quiet. In the foyer is displayed artwork from some of our previous engagement activities, but in the mornings these corridors are bursting with life and patients waiting to be seen. But now it's home time. And you can see we are all packing up and going home for another day. On days like this, I am so thankful for the walk home because it gives me time to take stock and reflect on everything that we've done that day. There have been so many activities, so many diverse projects, so many important conversations in the corridors. And so, ends another day which, like many others, is completely atypical. No 2 days are the same, but each is rich.